Alright, we're back. We're gonna make a lot of progress today. I'm getting a little bit annoyed by how little progress I'm making in this game. I checked the last time I played. It was 2 weeks ago. Oh my gosh, this is awful. Let's just get right into this. We'll get at least 2 hours in, maybe a little more, but yeah, oh boy. And after breakfast, I lay out my plans for the day.
何？学校に行くだと？
ええ、何か問題あるかしら、あっちゃ。
問題はないな。しかし、それは。
Archer looks reluctant, but doesn't protest. After spending a whole day with me, he probably understands now that Rin Tosaka doesn't go back on her word once she's made up her mind. I can sense his disagreement even if he doesn't voice it, but I've also learned that Archer has a sincere side beneath all the sarcasm. He won't whine about a decision he's accepted. Yep, he's loyal and awkward, like that. That's what my intuition says, at least after watching him yesterday.
リン、マスターになったからには常に敵マスターを警戒しなくてはならない。学校という場は不意の襲撃に備えにくい場所だ。
そんなことはないけどね。いいあっちゃ。私はマスターになったからって今までの生活を変える気はないわ。それにマスター同士の戦いは人目を避けるものでしょ。それなら人目につく学校にいれば不意打ちされることはまずないと思うけど。
This was, by the way, a really stupid thing that she said. I mean, I guess she ends up being right, but, there was no reason why people wouldn't just say, you know what, yeah, we're gonna just attack you at school, or we're gonna just, surprise you or in some way. She doesn't know what the, servant's powers are at all. So for all she knew, there was, somebody with a mind control power, or somebody who could just blow up an entire building. It's well, I know you're in the building, so good luck surviving the whole building exploding entirely, Oh, they're not gonna fight. It's well, I don't need a fight. I just blew up the entire building. Oh, it's a gas leak. Oh no. And that's it. That's it. That's literally it. No real fight. It's just, no, I blew up the whole building. If you survived, cool, but if you didn't survive, then whatever. Oh no, I killed a whole bunch of people. Everybody in this war, or almost everybody in this war, is very morally dubious.
そうか。リンがそう決めたのなら、私は従うだけだ。だが、霊体化して君の護衛をするぐらいはいいのだろうな。まさか、学校に行っている間はここに残れ、などとは言うまい。
当たり前じゃない。学校に限らず外に出るときはそばにいてもらうからね。マスターを守るのもサーバントの役割なんだから頼りにしてるわ。
それを聞いて安心した。信頼に応えるのは騎士の務め。せいぜい期待に沿うとしよう。だがリン、もしもの話だが、その安全な場所に敵がいたとしたらどうする？
何？学校にマスターがいるかもしれないって仮定？
そうだ。確かに学び屋には生徒と教師以外は入りにくいが、すでに内部の者がマスターだとしたら厄介ではないのか。
それはないんじゃないかな。この町には魔術師の家系は遠坂とあと一つしかないの。そのあと一つっていう家系は落ちぶれてるし、マスターにもなってないし。
Just letting you know, she's entirely wrong right here. Her entire philosophy about this other mage family is so wrong, it's insane. And makes no sense, actually. Cool. Literally, this family that won't produce any masters has 3 masters, actually. 3! Freaking insane. Freaking insane. She's just insanely wrong. Crazy.
マスターになっていないと。
あのね、うち以外に魔術師の家系がいるんなら真っ先に確かめるのは当然でしょ。そいつマスターにはなってなかったし、あっちの家系の後継者にはマスターになるだけの魔力がないから無視して構わないわ。
If he isn't the master, as the heir to that family, he can't wield the strength to become one. I don't know. Actually, this is confusing. This is really badly written. Okay.
そうか。つまり、凛の通う学校にはもう一人魔術師がいるのだな。だが、マスターになれるほどの魔力を持ち合わせていない。
Also, we know for a fact, any random person can become a mage. Anybody. Even if they aren't technically a strong master with a lot of magic, they can still become a mage. So, it's like, it's really weird. It's like, oh, well, I'm going to be the only strong master. And it's like, or at least, you know, from the school. But it's like, I don't know.
そういうこと。だから他のマスターは外からやってくる連中が大半のはず。そんな連中が学校にまでやってくることはないでしょう。
Yeah, there's 2 or 3 others in the school right now.
まあ、今の段階ではな。
Wait, no, there's 1. Sorry, 3 or 4 masters in the school, actually. Not including Rin. Yeah, it's a Japanese school. Oh, yeah, you know, it's a cliche or whatever, but, like, it still is absurdly stupid. It's like, oh, there shouldn't be any at school. They are almost entirely at school. It's kind of crazy. In fact, I'm trying to think, like, who isn't at school? Two, yeah. Yeah, 2.
だがリン、何事にも例外は存在する。もし学校に君が知らない魔術師がいたとしたら、
Well, maybe
どうする？
2 or 3. Aren't at school. There's some variables. What will you do if you encounter an unknown mage?
だからいないってば。魔術師っていうのは他の同業に敏感なの。1年も同じ学校にいたらね、どんなに隠してても魔術師の存在は感じ取れる。断言するけど、うちの学校に魔術師は2人しかいないわ。そのうちの1人が私で、もう1人はマスターになるだけの力がない魔術師見習いなの。
Yeah, I don't know why she's ignoring the 2 other ones. And then the other one doesn't have magic, so. Or very little magic. Yeah, kind of.
わかった？アーチャーの用心はただの杞憂よ。そんなこと絶対にありえないんだから。
The stupid part, though, is that Archer's right. Oh, no, sorry. Rin's right in this situation. Like, it is absurd how many people end up being at the school. Like, the school is such an epicenter. It doesn't actually make sense. There are going to be plot holes as a result of Rin being wrong, but being wrong because the author said she was wrong. Not because she was stupid. It was straight up, the author's like, yeah, this doesn't really make sense, but yeah, she's wrong. Haha, funny.
だから、もしもの話だ。物事には常に裏目が存在する。本来ありえざることが起こるのもまた運命だ。もしそういった事態になった場合、私に八つ当たりをするのだけは思いとどまってほしいと言っているのだ。
Oh. Right. Okay, no, I just thought of the next level of him knowing a lot of stuff. And so he's like, yeah, okay, idiot. Archer chuckles dryly. His smug attitude already makes me want to do exactly that. But I'll be late for school if I let him keep pushing my buttons.
そんなことあるわけないじゃない。もしもの話っていうのは起きないからもしもの話なのよ。もしそんなことになったら、その時は私の見通しが甘かったってだけなんだから。
What kind of... Okay, this does make her look stupid as hell. Like that... What if situations aren't what if because they would never happen? What if situations are literally possibilities that you should be ready for no matter how unlikely they are? Maybe they're very likely. Maybe they aren't likely. Either way, it's a what if that you have to consider.
よ
or you're
し
stupid.
確かに聞いたぞ。それでは行こうかリン。君の学び屋まで30分。そろそろ出なければ間に合わない時間帯だ。
Imagine walking to your school 30 minutes every day.
驚いた。もしもの話って本当にあるのね。
ああ、私も驚いている。いや、何事もケチをつけておくものだな。思わぬところで役に立った。
This is our exchange the moment we pass through the front gate. It's almost time for homeroom, so there are students on their way to class all around us. Archer and I stand like a pillar amid the swirling human sea. But
空
we're
気
not
が
going to
よ
show
ど
a
んで
picture
る
of
どころ
that.
の話じゃない。これもう結界が張られてない。
完全にではないが、すでに準備は始まっているようだな。ここまで派手にやっているということは、よほどの大物か。
It actually is very confusing why this person who did this because they knew Rin was going to be here. They could have set this up anywhere else other than the school. Anywhere else. But they did it at the school, and then Rin's like, oh, okay, well, it's probably you. Like, she already knows pretty much who it is immediately. It's really, really weird.
とんでもない素人ね。異常を感じさせる結界なんて三流だもの。やるんなら仕掛ける時まで隠し通しておくのが一流よ。
And there's that too, I suppose.
で、君はどちらだと思うリン。
Fourth rate.
さあ、一流だろうが三流だろうが知ったことじゃないわ。私のテリトリーでこんなゲスなもの仕掛けたやつなんて問答無用でぶっ倒すだけよ。
I let out an indignant huff as I crossed through the grounds. As a mage, there's no sugarcoating it. I won't be satisfied until whoever made this bounded field gets what's coming to them. Though, maybe he's not at school anymore. Maybe? I don't know. I'm on my way back from the music room after second period. I spot a first year floundering in the hallway. She looks like she could use a hand with the large stack of documents she was carrying.
手伝うわ、さくら。遠坂。何、プリント？世界史って言ったらうちの担任じゃない。クズキのやつ、女生徒に使いをさせるなんて何考えてんだか。ほら、半分貸して。ありがとうございます、先輩。いいっていいって。それじゃあこれさくらのクラスまで？久月先生のところです。誤字があったから回収するって言ってました。納得。久月は融通きかないからね。一つ誤字があったぐらいで試験を中止させるやつだった。試験って学校の試験をですか？そう、あれは去年の中間試験だったかな。みんながガーッとマークシートを塗りつぶしてる時にやってきてね。誤字があるので正しい問題ではなかった。よって試験は中止。後日改めて行うってあの調子で淡々と言ったのよ。私たちも驚いたけど先生方も驚いてね。今でもあれは語り草よ。
Like, he could have just like crossed out that question and been like, okay, that question doesn't count. We'll judge the exam based on that question not existing. But no,
なんか久月先生らしいですね。それ先生、ものを教える立場に間違いは許されないって人ですから。久月のは度が過ぎてるけどね。さくらもそのうち思い知るわよ。久月の堅物ぶりったら岩か山かって感じなんだから。遠坂先輩、久月先生のことが好きなんですね。先輩がそんな風に言うなんて珍しいです。そう？まあ確かに久月はもうちょっと柔軟性があればなって思うけど。
So he's alright just the way he is ultimately. The faculty at our school is made up of both really nice teachers and some really scary ones. It's a delicate balance that Mr. Kazuki's an important part of. He's the stick to the carrot.
まあ2年になればもっとクズキと顔を合わせるようになるわ。あいつは倫理も受け持ってるし。そんなことよりさくら、ちょっと聞きたいことがあるんだけど、いい？
How's Shinji?
何ですか？昨日の話なんだけど、さくら、見かけない外国人と話してなかった？
Right, yeah, that's right. The blonde hair guy, right?
見てたんですか、先輩。
You have to see the Heavensfield route to know what happened there.
たまたま。それであれ何だったの？知り合い？いいえ、それがよくわからない人だったんです。あの人、道に迷ってたみたいでした。いろいろ聞いてくるんだけど、何を言ってるのか聞き取れなくて、
I suppose if I was a new reader, or unknowledgeable, I suppose I would think, oh, that blonde-haired person is probably a mage, and they're part of the Holy Grail War, right? Makes sense. And that's when she slipped away.
そっか。ごめんなさい。少しだけ気になったから。いえ、構いません。ここまででいいです、先輩。あとは届けるだけですから。そう？それじゃあまたね。
I return the printouts to Sakura, but before I head back to my classroom, I find myself stopping.
さくら、最近はどう？はい、大丈夫。元気です、私。そう。シンジがまた何かやったら言いなさい。あいつはどってものを知らないから、黙っていると悪化する一方よ。心配いりませんよ、先輩。兄さん、この頃は優しいんですから。
Oh, really? There isn't much I can say to a smile like that. We say our farewells again, and I leave my underclassmen acquaintance. The school day is over. The classrooms steadily empty and the campus darkens by the hour. The crimson sun will set soon. Once night falls, there won't be anyone left around.
始めるわよ、あーちゃん。まずは結界の下調べ。どんな結界かを調べてから消すか残すか決めましょう。
I speak to my invisible partner. I feel him nod in acknowledgement. Bounded fields are meant to protect their casters. You can consider them terrain-based magecraft formed by weaving magical energy into a net and applying it to the earth to affect the inside of the field. It's a giant barrier, by the way, basically. You can make it really big or small. There are countless types of effects they can have, ranging from wards that isolate an area from the outside world to avoid detection, to fields that limit the type of magecraft that can be activated within. The most offensive type suppresses biological functions inside the area of effect. That's what's been applied to the school grounds. While it isn't finished, everyone in the school will collapse once it's activated. Something like that wouldn't work on me, though. Bounded fields are, after all, targeted at the area I'm in, not me specifically. Such indirect magical interference won't affect the mage with magical energy flowing through their body. Similarly, the electrical charges that flow in the atmosphere won't disturb the electrical currents within my body. Okay. That means the bounded field has some other purpose. Whoever it is that put this thing here isn't trying to defeat a master with it. I don't want to believe it, but they're targeting all the people within the school. There's only one possible reason for that. It's a thought I can't stomach. After checking all around campus, I finished my search on the roof. It's thoroughly dark outside now. The school gates shut at 6 p.m. and it's now 8 p.m. Archer and I are the only ones left, and Archer's in his spirit form.
これで7つ目か。とりあえずここが起点みたいね。
Surprised there's 7. I thought there was only 3. Okay. Or 5. There are 8 symbols boldly drawn on the rooftop. Wait, all the symbols are on the rooftop? Okay. There are purplish red marks that only a mage can see. I've never seen or heard of sigils like these.
参 参ったな。これ私の手には負えない。
Whoever set up this bounded field did it recklessly. But while imprudent, the magical working itself is an order of magnitude beyond my own skills. I could temporarily erase the energy of the curse, but I have no way to dispel the bounded field itself. Really? I was a little confused by this, but wait, what if she just like destroyed the wall or whatever it was attached to? All the spellcaster needs to do is supply it with more energy to reactivate the curse's effects. Archer doesn't comment. He's probably remained silent since encountering the rooftop sigils, because he too has realized their nature. This bounded field does more than drain its victim's stamina. It will literally melt everyone inside once it's turned on. That's interesting. I don't think that's quite what happens in the anime. I guess we will see in this exactly what happens here. Or maybe it gets activated early, and we'll see. But wow, literally melt. Sheesh. Not like... Yeah, okay. Not metaphorically, okay. There are bounded fields which rob victims of their life force and spiritual energy, but the spell that's been applied to the school grounds is on a whole different level. This is no less than a soul eater, a blood fort which melts the human bodies inside it and forcibly collects the souls that ooze out. Since antiquity, souls have always been difficult to handle. They're theorized to exist and are considered to be necessary components of magecraft, but only one mage has ever proven their existence. Our definition of souls stops at that which examines within and that which is transferred between vessels. To not only extract souls, but then capture them in one place, it defies comprehension. I mean, I wouldn't say that that's quite true. I mean, you know, it's like, well, energy, electrical energy can, like, influence where they are. Like, if an electrical field can, like, stop a soul from going through, then what if you just have, like, a net that encircles the souls that stops them from leaving one place? You know? What's a mage supposed to do with a bunch of energy? We can't even convert. Oh, you can't even convert it. Oh, well, in that case, it's for the servant. Yeah. So if I had to think of a purpose for it,
Archer, あなたたちってそういうもの?
it comes out colder than I
ご推
intended.
察の通りだ。我々は基本的に霊体だと言っただろう。故に食事は第2ないし第3要素となる。君たちが肉を得ようとするように、サーバントは精神と魂を得ようとする。栄養を取ったところで基本的な能力は変わらないが、取り入れれば取り入れるほどタフになる。つまり魔力の貯蔵量が上がっていくというわけだ。
He's right. The way to make your own servant stronger is to indiscriminately attack human beings.
マスターから提供される魔力だけじゃ足りないってこと？
足りなくはないが、大いに越したことはない。実力が劣る場合、弱点を武士で補うのが戦争だろう。周囲の人間からエネルギーを奪うのはマスターとしては基本的な戦略だ。そういった意味で言えば、この結界は効率がいい。
Archer's saying that I should murder people and take their power if I want to win. I mean, no, just that it'd be easier to do that. It's so simple. I've always known this to be true. And I know it's the path I'm supposed to walk.
それ、勘に触るわ。二度と口にしないで、アーチャー。
Staring at the sigils, I make my stance clear. Oddly, Archer sounds just as put off.
同感だ。私も真似をするつもりはない。
His answer comes firm and resolute.
さて、それじゃ消そうか。無駄だろうけど、とりあえず邪魔をするぐらい。
Wait, so she can erase it. Oh, right. She said she could delay it, right. I approach the sigil and extend my left hand. The magical crest engraved on my arm is like a grimoire passed down through the Tosaka line. The mental switch is flicked. I pass magical energy through the magic crest. Load a verse of bounded field erasure. Take a deep breath and activate it. Then send a pulse of magical energy via my left hand. That should wash away the sigil for now.
なんだよ、消しちまうのか？もったいねえ。
Lancer? Suddenly, a third voice chimes in while I'm casting the spell. I whirl around. Here he is. It's Mr. Idiot himself. A man is perched on top of the water tower. Oh, he aura farming. Some 10 meters above, looking down at me. He's clad in a deep blue that blends into the night. His mouth is drawn into a grin, and he has a bestial air about him. The beast's gaze is sharp and clear. In this bizarre situation, the man in blue watches me as if he's greeting a friend he hasn't seen in a decade.
これあなたの仕業？
いや、小細工を浪するのは魔術師の役割だ。俺たちはただ命じられたまま戦うのみ。だろ？そこの兄さんよ。
His tone is lethal, yet carefree. This man can see Archer. I mean, that seems weird. No, I mean, normal.
サーバント。
Why did she even say this? like, was there any possibility that a mage would ever dress like this? I'm just gonna say no. I mean, I guess he could be an assassin, I guess, theoretically, but...
そうとも。で、それがわかるお嬢ちゃんは、俺の敵ってことでいいのかな？
My spine tenses. The man's voice is detached and nonchalant, but it's colder than anyone I've ever heard. So scary, it's nauseating. What's the best move here? I don't know. But my brain is still working enough to tell me that I absolutely must not fight him. Wait, what? Wait, why would you not fight him, though? What possible reason should you not fight him? Like, what? Oh, but you don't know anything about him. Who cares?
何もわからねえようで要点は抑えてやがる。ああ、失敗したなこりゃ。面白がって声をかけるんじゃなかったぜ。
The man raises an arm. It appears in a flash. His once empty hand now holds the gay bulge, a scarlet 2-meter-long weapon. The legendary gay bulge. So gay, so bulge. My leg throws me to the side before I can think. There isn't time to even hesitate about jumping off the roof. I don't know if that's the correct decision there. Like, he could have probably hit you way more easily when you were falling in midair, but okay. With all my might, I make a mad dash for the fence, intending to barrel right through it. The cyclone lifts my hair into the air. It was by the skin of my teeth. In that instant, something slices through the space I was just in, tearing the fence apart with it. A blue whirlwind pursues me. Why didn't Archer come out immediately? There's no way out. The fence is behind me. My flanks are cut off. I won't make it. If only I could, defend myself in some way. Light mass, heavy pressure. I react swiftly. My magic crest surges to life so I can weave a single count magecraft. Spell lightens my mass and manipulates gravity. Light as a feather, my body bounds into the air. And I jump over the fence to plummet off the roof. Air resistance and gravity push and pull along my body. It's about 15 meters to the ground, 1.7 seconds away. Too slow. He's going to catch up to me. Yeah, right? Okay, just makes it so it's safe to land. Oh no, okay, I don't know. Okay, maybe she's going faster to the ground. I let Archer absorb the shock of the landing and break into a dash as soon as we touched down. I mean, Archer didn't really absorb the shock of the landing, though. I mean, like, the shock still goes into the person who fell down, just because you get caught. Well, I guess maybe a servant could. It's weird. It's weird catching somebody when they're falling. Okay. Like, if you have enough strength, I guess it's enough. Kinda, sorta. I couldn't stay on that rooftop. We need a less cramped arena from which to maneuver freely. A battlefield without obstacles where Archer and I can truly shine. That's true. But to be fair, Archer could have just materialized, grabbed her, and jumped off. It takes me less than 7 seconds to escape from the roof of the schoolyard. Honestly, that's a long time. Like, a servant can, like, move that far in, like, less than a second, probably. A distance of over 100 meters crossed at a pace no normal person can manage, much less clearly see. And yet, yeah.
本気でいい足だ。ここで仕留めるのはいささかもったいなさすぎるか。
Against a servant, it's wasted effort.
Archer!
At the same time I draw back, Archer materializes before me. It's a cloudy night. Archer's hand grips a short sword that faintly reflects the moonlight. But remember, he doesn't have a sword. He said this earlier.
Hey.
The man's lip twists into an ominous sneer.
いいね。そう来なくっちゃ。話が早いやつは嫌いじゃない。
The whirlwind howls. It's the weapon he swung at me on the rooftop. A spear of blood-like crimson that came mercilessly from my head.
ランサーのサーバント。
いかにも。そういうあんたのサーバントはセイバー。
Right? Why's he got
って
swords?
感じじゃねえな。何者だ、てめえ。
I'm just an archer that has swords. It's actually very normal. Gone is its carefree ease from a moment ago. Archer stays silent, facing off against Lancer's unconcealed bloodlust. There's just under 5 meters between them. Lancer's weapon is nearly 2 meters long. It doesn't feel like this beast of a man is going to be deterred by a mere 3-meter difference.
まっとうな一騎打ちをするタイプじゃねえな、てめえは。ってことは、アーチャーか。
I mean, for all he knew, it was like an assassin. Whatever. Archer doesn't take the bait. An unusual clash of blue and red stared each other down. The two knights, somewhat similarly dressed. Yeah, I guess it's somewhat similar. Mutually calculate the other's demise. I don't know why they're somewhat similarly dressed, though, because they're from 2 completely different parts of the planet. So that's... and 2 completely different time periods, too.
いいぜ。好みじゃねえが、出会ったからにはやるだけだ。そら、獲物を出せよ、アーチャー。これでも礼はわきまえているからな。それぐらいは待ってやる。
Archer doesn't answer. His back, as steely as a sword, seems to convey that. He must not have anything to say to someone he must defeat. That's when I realize it. I'm such a fool. Archer was waiting for my word.
Archer?
I call out to him without getting any closer.
手助けはしないわ。あなたの力、ここで見せて。
Without a laugh, the red knight surges forward, his lips curled in response. Wind swirls. Scarlet bullet flies forth, blade in hand. A blue spear thrust intercepts him. The charging archer is a gust of wind, and the spear tip that rises to meet him is a divine storm. Streaking blades, elegant parries, archers put on the defensive, fending off the swift thrusts with his short sword. The man in red is stopped in his tracks. His advance denied by the enemy. He can't even reach the 2-meter coverage of the spear. His polearm wielder can control his opponent's range. Lancer, with his nearly 2-meter reach, needs to simply engage his foe whenever he comes within range. It's easier for him to stab an advancing opponent than it is for him to go after Archer himself. Despite this, Lancer closes the distance to himself to press the attack, all the while keeping Archer from advancing further.
たわけ旧兵風情が接近戦を挑んだな。
Lancer's snarl is fiery. With each thrust, Lancer closes in, the assault never letting up for a second. Moving in too close is suicide for a spear wielder. The advantage of a spear is the ability to control the enemy's position. Lancer shouldn't have a chance if he keeps closing in. But that's only according to conventional wisdom. Unerringly, unceasingly, Lancer's spear seeks to pierce Archer's throat, shoulder, forehead, heart. The strikes are too swift to even leave an afterimage. Archer is forced to parry, block, or evade every move of the spear. Any strike, if true, would be a mortal blow. Still, Archer is a servant, even if he specializes with the bow. He won't be brought down so easily by mundane attacks. I mean, she says this, but like, he's a spear master, isn't he? Like, It's not like Archer is a dodge master, you know? The thrust at his forehead is quickly batted aside, and Archer renews his charge in spite of Lancer's spear. One might think that swordplay is all there is to Archer's attacks, but he's exploiting a weakness in spear tactics. Against a spear's considerable reach, neither retreat nor evasion are viable defenses for long. Half-hearted withdrawal isn't enough to get out of range, while probing attacks will lead to evisceration. A reckless charge will similarly end in impalement at the edge of the spear's range. Archer and Lancer have more or less the same physical stature. Without heavy armor, it's difficult for Archer to penetrate the lethal storm of Lancer's attack radius. But Lancer's strikes are a different story. The high-speed thrusts intended to pierce vital points are indeed terrifying. But each strike has a set trajectory and target. If one can predict these, then there are ways to avoid harm. Just as Archer is doing, one can block the strikes aimed at vital points or just barely evade their arcs to create safe openings. Lancer probably underestimated him as a ranged specialist. The advantage of a long weapon is the generous range at which one can engage the opponent. By giving that up, Lancer has assured his. The man in red stops in his tracks. I watch a nightmare unfold as if time is rewinded. Lancer's attacks become even faster than before. Archer's short sword is knocked aside as he twists to avoid being skewered. Lancer's spear doesn't allow retreat, or rather his endless attacks are so fierce and sharp that even servants are doomed against them. We were the ones who underestimated our enemy. That servant, that Lancer, and his spear can't be described in mundane martial terms. Who could possibly survive such a relentless barrage? Archer beats a desperate retreat while parrying strikes, creating slightly more distance between the fighters. I mean, why isn't Rin, like, trying to escape a little bit here? This is a little silly. In that moment, Lancer steps into the gap and unleashes an even more ferocious attack. The storm of attacks is a little different from what he's already been doing, but their execution is truly godlike. They've already clashed 10 times. No, it's actually several times more than that, obviously. The torrent of spear strikes increases again in intensity and number, threatening to take Archer's life 1,000 times more. Over. I don't know what's about. It isn't even a change in speed, but in precision. At a steady pace, Lancer's spear comes down on Archer like a waterfall. How can Archer get inside his guard? With such a short weapon, all he can do is defend against the spear. He has no way to close in on Lancer. In fact, he's being forced backwards. The steel vacuum stretches out. I should be backing Archer up, but the right words die in my throat. My magecraft isn't easy to aim precisely. I risk hitting Archer too if he can't get far enough away from Lancer. Meanwhile, Lancer's advantage will only deepen. And to be honest, I am captivated by their duel. So this is a battle between servants. The Holy Grail War is a battle between familiars of the highest order, rogue spirits, beings that we mages can't begin to approach. Servants. Familiars divided among 7 classes and roles, serving 7 masters. Supreme familiars, called forth by the Holy Grail itself. Familiar is really a misnomer for them. Familiars are supposed to be subservient minions who act on behalf of a mage. Normally you'd imagine something like Puss in Boots, an elegant white bird, or a disobedient black dog, something like that. Don't you mean an obedient black dog? Those sorts of familiars are what a typical mage can manage to command. Familiars are just that, in the Latin, or menial servant. It's inconceivable that a mascot used for menial labor would be stronger than its master. Servants are a different story. They're quite literally the most powerful examples of humanity. Even the 5 magicians wouldn't be able to control them. I mean, control is a weird... Okay, no, I get what they mean. Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, that'd be like trying to control a sentient person. Like, you can control them, but they'd just be mind controlled. You can't, like, make them completely subservient to you is what they mean. You know, like, you know, you tell a bird to do something and just does it, you know, in this context. Because you're just like a higher being than them. But servants aren't just a higher being. Or humans aren't a higher being than servants, basically. They're like kind of similar. The 5 magicians, don't worry about them. We only know the identity of 3 of them. Well, wait, 2. And kind of 3, maybe kind of the third one. But the first and fourth, we don't know anything about. Unless the first is Jesus Christ or something. It's difficult to summon a servant, but not because servants are more powerful than mages. Servants are beings that surpass magecraft itself. Oh, here we go, the cards. To be clear, why are we learning this now? Servants are heroes of the past. Myths, legends, fables, histories. We call the glorious superhumans from our traditions heroes, whether the tales are true or not. Immortalized by what humanity says about them, they cease to be merely human after death and ascend to something greater. People who work miracles, who save the multitudes, who accomplish great feats, are elevated to the status of heroes, either in life or after death. They become a type of elemental we call heroic spirits, guardians of the human race. What are they guarding the human race from? Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter whether they were historical people or characters from mythology. Heroes are created by the thoughts of the people. We imagine them as the idols we wish that they were, and treat them as if they were real. Objective truth is irrelevant. Fame and faith are sufficient to give form to these legends. They're humanity's ultimate ideals, the greatest among us. That's what it means to be a hero and a heroic spirit. Naturally, it's impossible for a mere human to control something greater than human. If you want to call them greater than human. I mean, it's about intelligence. They have the same intelligence level as a human, but yeah, I know. What mages usually do is borrow a portion of their power and imitate their feats. Summoning a complete heroic spirit is simply impossible. Oh, right, yeah. We can only summon a part of them. That is weird, though. Why is summoning a complete heroic spirit simply impossible? That seems a little weird, isn't it? Yet the Holy Grail makes it possible. Okay. I'm just thinking about some elements from different Fate stories that maybe were relevant right there for a second, but we won't worry about it. It allows us to summon these spirits in the flesh and even bind them to our command. The sheer absurdity of it proves the Grail's omnipotence. That's how heroic spirits are summoned from across time, whether from the age of gods, that's a little questionable, or as recent as a century ago. A century ago. I guess that makes sense. There is a good amount of them from like the late 1800s. So the funny part is that like if we only talk about Fate Stay Night, Fate Extra, Fate Ataraxia, I think that the heroes in those were very rarely from the Age of Gods, like super rarely. And like I'm trying to think who the most recent servant was. Ignoring the main one that everybody knows. I'm blanking right now. I can't think of anybody in the last 500 years. Robin Hood? Maybe? Robin Hood was last... No, I thought that was like 1,000 years ago, though. Or 800 or something. Nursery rhyme? Maybe? The 7 heroic spirits serve and protect their 7 masters, and each master sends their servant out to defeat enemy masters. It's a death match between heroes of every age and every land. That's the story behind the ritual we call the Holy Grail War. Of course, there are limits to what the Grail can do. Even the Holy Grail can't indiscriminately summon mythic beings akin to elementals. Just as a... Oh, I see. So an elemental, a mythic being akin to an elemental is Arcuid from Fate, from Tsukihime. She's technically an elemental. But yeah, elementals are not commonly talked about. Just as a form created by the people is required to materialize the 6th theoretical factor known as demons. 6th theoretical factor? gonna have to look that one up for later. Known as demons. Heroic spirits need a material form to operate in this world. This is their temporary label and the way they're allowed to exist in this world. The Holy Grail provides vessels that heroic spirits can easily materialize in, called classes, and only heroic spirits that fit these classes can be summoned. A class is like a passport that lets a heroic spirit visit the modern era to act as a familiar. It's a material vessel that they temporarily possess. There are 7 masters, 7 heroic spirits to serve them. Each is assigned one of the 7 classes: Saber, Archer, Lancer. Usually I think Saber, Archer, Lancer. I don't know in that order specifically. Archer, the class made up of archers. Rider, they can ride anything. You could be literally anything. Caster, the mage. Assassin, awful, just the worst class in every way. It's not that the characters themselves are awful, it's just that their variety is awful. Berserker, the Mad Warrior. Only heroic spirits with attributes corresponding to the 7 classes can be summoned to the modern world, and they become servants whom the masters command. That's the servant system. Humans summon and make contracts with heroic spirits beyond our ability to handle, all in hopes of winning a miracle beyond our ken. It's the greatest of battles that can only happen here in this land, like no other Holy Grail war. Here in this land, like no other Holy Grail war. We got our weird grammar. The duel reaches an even higher pitch. The short sword goes flying from Archer's hand after blocking one of Lancer's strikes. Lancer's skill is consummate. A seemingly straight thrust suddenly whipped into a disarming arc at Archer's wrist. It was an attack that Archer couldn't have avoided even if he saw it coming. There isn't an effective way to parry the spear with his sword. A forceful block is countered with an even keener strike, while defending with a minimal force will never create an opening to exploit. The clash between sword and spear is shaping up into an intense struggle to defeat an enemy outside of Archer's reach. There is no hesitation in Lancer, even as he taunts Archer. He pauses from the constant pressure he puts on Archer. Does he intend to settle the duel in an instant? Why not? Lancer takes a firmly rooted stance, creating a fiery glare. With a now unarmed Archer, it happens in an instant. In the span of a breath, Lancer looses a flurry of blows that's no less than a flash of light. Imperceptible. Forehead, neck, heart. The spear moves to skewer all 3. And yet, another flash of light counters the first that I couldn't even follow. Archer's hand grasps the short sword once more. Like the weapon he used earlier, it's a Chinese sword, not dissimilar to a cleaver. But the greatest difference between them is... Oh, okay. They didn't really show the swords before. A blade and blade. In each hand he grips a sword, each clearly meant to complement the other. Even knowing everything I know about this character, I still don't understand these blades at all, by the way. Everything about them, I don't understand. Everything. Just the yin-yang aspect, the Chinese aspect, like why, I don't understand. Don't know. They just thought that was a good idea. It has nothing to do with this person's origins. Yeah. Just thought it looked cool, I guess. Lancer's spear sings through the air. Comes even faster, as if to herald Archer's certain death. The duel becomes a symphony of clashing blades. 2 steel instruments play a resounding chorus, the sparks of their conflict rising to a never-ending crescendo. Their battles like a vacuum. It sucks in all the air around it, making me feel like I'll be cut if I even dare to approach. It all happened in an instant, really. But as I watched with bated breath, the moment seemed to stretch on. Lancer keeps his foe out of his fatal pocket, while Archer attempts to close the gap with his shield of dual swords. They've clashed over 100 times already, Archer losing the weapon each time. Each time? But instantly another sword appears in Archer's empty hand, and Lancer is slightly driven back each time. Lancer finally acknowledges his miscalculation. He has no idea who he's fighting, but it would be a mistake to keep dismissing his opponent as a bowman. I mean, it's stupid to say it'd be a mistake to think of him as a bowman, because, like, the second that you don't believe he's a bowman, then, oh, I'm gonna put some distance, and then he pulls out a bow. Space opens up between them. Lancer puts significant distance between them. Maybe he intends to start over. That agility isn't normal. Archer's charge defies human ability, but he's sluggish next to Lancer. The swiftness of Lancer's retreat had the speed and grace of a leopard.
27
I thought they said that with each blow, which was 100, he was disarmed. But here it says, no, he disarmed him 27 times. But also, by the way, if he every single time he disarms him, that means he has to resummon a new sword. So every time he has to resummon a new sword, he's using magic, so he's getting more tired, right? Also, I think that Lancer has way more stamina too. Lancer sounds irritated. Actually, he sounds more confused than upset. I'd be confused too. I feel the same way. According to my father, servants typically only have one weapon. They're supposed to be singular relics of an unimaginable power, not expendable items to be drawn over and over like Archer's doing. Servants are heroes whose spiritual rank are elevated to the magnitude of elementals or divine spirits after death. In a way, they're not unlike angels and demons. They're powerful familiars on their own, but their greatest strengths is the mighty weapons that prove they're heroes. We call these magical items, noble phantasms. They are the favored weapon or armor that the servant used while it was a living hero, and it's literally the servant's secret weapon. However, this is not true, because the favored armor usually doesn't matter too much, and the favored weapon isn't actually the favored weapon, it's actually the favored concept of the character. So if the hero is known for something, that actually will more than likely supersede what weapon they were known to use. But it depends what we're talking about here, because sometimes somebody is a hero can be the weapon. They are all about the weapon. And then sometimes they're like, no, actually, my whole deal is that I'm known for betraying people, so that's my weapon. Betrayal is my weapon, or something. Something like that. Assassins are something else. I mean, assassins are way cooler, theoretically, but they're too strong, so we have to nerf them in weird ways. To servant, a noble phantasm is a one-of-a-kind armament. You know, it's funny. I always thought a noble phantasm is their ultimate attack. But I guess they are going to explain it in a different way. Because yeah, every so often, especially at the beginning of the series, they call noble phantasms the weapon that a servant uses. But I feel like in like 2015 or something, maybe even before that, but at least 2015, I don't remember anybody saying, that's your noble phantasm, that weapon in your hand is your noble phantasm, servant. Like, no, nobody would have said, like, this weapon, nah, it's not that important. Like like there's so many people, like Achilles, his weapon, not that important actually. Like calling that his noble phantasm isn't quite right. And I actually don't know a single archer whose bow and arrow is representative of who they are. I'm sure that there's somebody. I mean, maybe David and Goliath, but like, it's not like, ooh, this slingshot is super special, legendary. Like, no. It's more about David's faith and mentality. So yeah, noble phantasms being weapons is only true. I would say, personally, only true in this game. Even in Fate Extra, I would say that that's very not true. Like, they use weapons all the time that you would not really call their noble phantasms. It's a servant's indispensable ultimate weapon as well. The same goes for Lancer's spear. It can exhibit its power as a noble phantasm if he so chooses. A noble phantasm is a formidable weapon on its own, but its true power is expressed by invoking its true name. Heroes' weapons are known to have slain dragons and gods, to have conquered the earth. Gods? How often do gods get killed in stories? I'm trying to think about that one. Gods? Like, no Greek god is known to have been killed by any weapon. Maybe an Indian god. Maybe Nordic. I don't think any Nordic god's been killed by any specific weapon. You know. Servants activate noble phantasms with their own magical energy. Yeah, I guess it's not unlike Magecraft actually. Servants use their noble phantasms as catalysts to recreate the destruction from their legends. A noble phantasm is most certainly not a disposable tool. Archer has produced dozens of swords by now. Each seems like a masterwork unto itself, but they surely can't be his noble phantasm. I mean, you say that, but what if he's known for recreating his weapon multiple times in his life, you know? Like, it's worth noting that, at least in this instance, every weapon that he's creating is the same exact weapon over and over. He's an archer after all. His secret weapon must be some kind of bow.
どうしたランサー。様子見とは君らしくないな。先ほどの勢いはどこに行った。
タヌキ。減らず口を叩きやがるか。
That's funny. He said, did he really say tanuki? Like, I know a tanuki is a sneaky animal, but it's funny that they just straight up say, oh, tanuki, you know? Like, they don't even, like, if you're Japanese, you just know what that means. That's so interesting. It's a complete, like, I understand, like, they don't want to completely do a one-to-one connection between what's being said and what is being written, but it still is really annoying to me whenever I see that. Like, yeah, here we just said a word that we're just not gonna say. Like, they'll say "got you" in English, you know, some Japanese person, and then the subtitles will be like "I have you" or something. And it's like, come on. The cause of Lancer's irritation is obvious. Lancer has been fighting as a spearman, while Archer has been fending him off as a swordsman, meaning that Archer hasn't revealed his cards yet. That must be frustrating to deal with.
いいぜ、聞いてやるよ。てめえどこの英雄だ。二頭使いの旧兵なぞ聞いたことがない。
That is true.
そういう君は分かりやすいな。僧兵には最速の英雄が選ばれるというが、君はその中でもえりすぐりだ。これほどの宗師は世界に3人といまい。加えて獣のごとき敏捷さといえばおそらく1人。
That's absurd that, okay, this is absurd that this little bit of interaction was enough for Archer to figure out which Lancer he was in the entire history of humankind. I call bullshit on this. And even weirder is he's like, oh, only one has such bestial agility. Archer, why are you capable of matching his agility if it's so bestial, if it's so impressive, when archers aren't known for their agility? Lancers are. Of all of the classes, speed-wise, I would say Assassin would be fast. Like in a 1v1. Assassin would be fast. And Lancer would be fast. Now, technically, you could also say like Berserker and Rider, depending, but on a base stat level, physical capability, Assassin and Lancer makes sense as being the fastest. Lancer is all about fast spear thrust, for the most part. Assassin, I mean, it depends, because some of them are like, they're actually not that fast. They just are good at killing you when you're not noticing that they're there. So it might not necessarily be all about speed. It could be about deception.
ほう、よく言ったアーチャー。
For a moment, the bloodlust is so strong I forget to breathe. Lancer's arms move. It's a deliberate stance without any of the nonchalance he's shown thus far. His spear tip dips as if to puncture the ground, but Lancer's eyes bore straight through Archer.
ならば食らうか。我が必殺の一撃を。
止めはしない。いずれ越えねばならぬ敵だ。
And this is where Archer would have died. Lancer lowers his stance. Simultaneously, a thorny, bitter cold overtakes the schoolyard. The air freezes. I don't mean that metaphorically. It's literally ice cold. Oh, the man in the atmosphere freezes solid. Only the warrior Lancer is allowed to breathe in this space. The spear in Lancer's hand is undoubtedly magical, its true form eager to burst force. Oh no, he's going to die. I don't know what kind of noble phantasm that is, but Archer is finished. The weird part about this, though, is that Archer actually knows who this is, and therefore should know his noble phantasm, and theoretically how to avoid it, right? But that said, he does eventually block it somehow later. Supposedly. It's the first time I've had this kind of premonition, and hard as it is to believe, I don't doubt it for a second. If Lancer unleashes his spear, Archer will die. You would think. That's absolutely certain. As Lancer says, his spear means death. Archer will lose. Lancer will stab him through the heart and he'll die. Despite that, despite those premonitions, despite his insight, I can't even help Archer. I feel like if I so much as lift a finger, it'll signal the beginning of the end. If there's a way to prevent Archer's defeat, then it can only be...
誰だ?
Nani! The sudden appearance of a third party whom we've all overlooked. It's the true main character! Lancer's ferocity disappears. I hear the sound of someone running away. From behind, I can clearly make out a school uniform.
生徒、まだ学校に残ってたの？
そのようだな。おかげで命拾いしたが。
It's still stupid that Lancer didn't just use his no phantasm and just win right now. He can win right now if he just does it. No. Archer answers coolly. Sure enough, the interruption did save our skin.
失敗した。ランサーに気を取られて周りの気配に気づかなかった。ってアーチャー、あんた何してんの？
見てわからないか。手が空いたから休んでいる。
He ran after the guy.
んなわけないでしょ。ランサーはどうしたの
He's
よ。
gone.
さっきの人影を追ったよ。目撃者だからな。おそらく消しに行ったのだろう。
For a moment, my thoughts grind to a halt.
追ってアーチャー。私もすぐに追いつくから。
Archer pursues Lancer immediately.
くそ、なんて間抜け。
Baka! I curse my own negligence. It's standard mage policy to eliminate witnesses. Until now, I've been careful not to allow anyone to see me as a mage to avoid that scenario. Why did it have to happen today of all days? Because you're in the middle of a big fight? Normally, mages aren't in the middle of servant duels. Like, what are you thinking? The night feels oppressive, not letting even the moonlight through. I find Archer standing over the body of a student collapsed on the floor of a terribly cold hallway. He looks wordlessly down at the student. An odor reaches my nose. The sight of slowly pooling blood makes me realize that it's the smell of death.
追ってアーチャー。ランサーはマスターのところに戻るはず。せめて相手の顔ぐらい把握しないと割が合わない。
Archer goes off after Lancer. Only the fallen student and I remain in the corridor. I can't look him in the eye, but I have to. This is my fault. My fault. Since I was young, since I made up my mind to inherit the Tosaka legacy, I've been prepared for this. Mages aren't governed by good or evil. I've known all along that this path would be a bloody one.
ランサーの槍で一突きか。心臓やられてちゃ助からない。
I don't know how many seconds ago Lancer killed him. It's just a matter of whether he was unlucky enough to get stabbed through the heart. The blood loss isn't as bad as I would expect for a destroyed heart, so maybe the injury isn't too deep. It might not be too bad, but he's still screwed if blood has been cut off to his brain. Though, yeah, if his heart was wrecked, then he would have died instantly.
その割にはまだ死んでないってのはすごいな。
It's hard to hear, but just barely. My ears pick up faint breathing that might be a death rattle. But it won't last more than a few seconds. I won't have the power to save him. I don't even have a way to heal my own wounds.
顔を見ないと。それぐらいはしなくちゃ。
I start to reach for the face of the prone figure when I realize that my fingers won't move. They're shaking. But why? I'm used to this. I've made this choice countless times. I've lost so much thanks to my own mistakes, my own selfishness. That's why I've always been ready for this day to come. Then why am I so angry at myself?
ごめんね。見とるぐらいはしてあげる。
I use cold logic to still my trembling fingers and legs and check the fallen student's face. A great weight falls onto me. I feel like I've just been struck by a hammer.
やめてよね。なんだってあんたが。
I grind my teeth, no longer to brace myself against the shaking, but because I'm truly angry. Why did it have to be him? Why him especially? I'm not upset with Lancer for silencing a witness as a servant should. But at school today of all days, at this hour, you fool! Why would you, of all people? Sakura's face comes to mind. I'm sure she'll cry, and I find myself recalling a day after school, some years ago. The sky glowed a distant red. A boy that always ran, and a silly little girl watching him, absently from afar. That boy got involved in something he shouldn't have, and now his corpse is in front of me. There's still a way. If I fail, I might lose my trump card, but there's a way to save him. No, I'll lose it whether this works or not, so the outcome is the same to me. This is a mistake. His impending death is a foregone conclusion. It's my fault for not paying enough attention to what was happening around me, and his fault for having the dumb luck to be here tonight. There's no need for me to go this far for him. My father, who left me with nothing to remember him by, did in fact leave me this heirloom to help me. It's a massive store of magical energy meant to be a trump card that helps me win this war. A precious, precious treasure just for...
だからなんだってのよ、バカ。
I turn back and kneel by the dying boy.
やっちゃった。
The pendant in my hand gets lighter. My father's keepsake is nearly empty. With a clink, I drop it on the guy who was a second away from becoming a corpse.
まあ、仕方ないか。
There really was no other way. I don't have the power or skill to bring someone back to life, especially not someone with a destroyed heart, damaged blood vessels, and brain death mere seconds away. All I can do is patch up his missing parts with brute force.
まだ息があるのが運の尽きだった。完全に死んでいたら、どんなに魔力の蓄えがあっても蘇生なんてできなかったし。
But if he's still alive, then I just need to help him the best I can.
失敗してたら目も当てられなかったけど、成功したからいいか。ええ、正直に言えば充実感あるしね。こういう経験も悪くはなかったわ。
No, really, I'm lying to myself.
行こう。済んだことは済んだこと。こいつが目を覚ます前に帰らないと。
Yeah, there isn't any point hanging around. Archer's off tailing Lancer, so I should just go home. On the way home, I remember I left my father's memento at school, though now it's just a pendant with all its magical energy wrung dry. I mean, you say it's just a pendant, but isn't it like literally a gem? Like a really good gem? I thought the whole point is that you can use these gems over and over.
もういいか。
I don't suppose I need it anymore. It might have a little bit of energy left in it, but it's less than the 10 gemstones I'm carrying. What Father wanted was for me to have enough magical energy to win the Holy Grail War. Now that I've used that resource up, this container doesn't mean much. For all she knows, it's a one-of-a-kind container that can hold like infinite energy, but whatever. I arrive home without announcing my return and plop down on the sofa. There's literally nobody in her house. Why would she announce her return? Archer still isn't back yet. I heave a tired sigh and listen to the clock tick for a few minutes.
いい加減頭を切り替えなくちゃ。あれだけの戦いを経験しておいて何ほうけてるんだ私。
I jump to my feet and make some black tea. I have plenty to think about. The servant we encountered most of all. I finally watched a battle between servants which, until today, I'd only known about through books.
ランサーか。宝具を使われそうになった時は焦ったけど、実際使ってたら正体は分かったのよね。
Even though Archer already said he knew who he was, learning a servant's identity is key to defeating a servant. It's not true though, actually. Especially in this case, it would not have helped her at all. Amazing. With the exception of the idiot who doesn't know his own name, a servant's greatest weakness is their identity. Once you learn a servant's name and identity, then you can mostly deduce that heroic spirit's noble phantasm. Yes? It goes without saying that since servants are heroic spirits, they have legends associated with them. Unraveling their history can reveal a lot about their abilities. Masters address servants by their class names to hide their true names. The more famous a hero, the more likely their weapons and weaknesses are to be known. But there are a lot of heroes who do not have weaknesses, so okay. Like, I think that Greek heroes, even though they all have tragic endings for the most part, they still usually, like, die due to, like, just another hero or another creature just being so strong. Not that they're like super, they were killed in some super special awesome way. Only Achilles has something like that. And even then, that was divine intervention that allowed him to be shot like that. A heroic spirit who has become a servant will never willingly divulge their identity. They will. That knowledge is reserved only for their master. There's a tacit understanding that a master conceals their own servant's identity while trying to figure out the identities of the other servants. Including this one, there have been 5 Holy Grail Wars thus far. So, all I know is that the 4th Grail War was 10 years before this, which I think is 1994 or 1991 or something like that. And the 3rd Holy Grail War was during World War II. That's the only ones that I know about. I don't know about the 1st and 2nd. Each servant's quality depends on the caliber of their summoned heroic spirit. Naturally, a famous hero or one with a legendary weapon is powerful. Accordingly, it's difficult to summon such heroic spirits. For that, a summoner needs a connection to the heroic spirit they're summoning, such as a weapon the hero wielded during their lifetime. Even the Mages Association with all its resources only has a few such items in its possession. That's why most mages, myself included, summon a heroic spirit whom we have an affinity with. A servant's strength is determined by the caliber of the heroic spirit, or so the logic goes. But reality isn't so clear-cut. Even a superior heroic spirit might struggle when the classes in play aren't favorable. Class-specific abilities can be a large impact on the outcome of a battle. Each of the 7 classes comes with additional abilities, and the interaction between these can allow one to triumph over a stronger opponent. To continue the example, it's said that great heroes were defeated by lesser-known heroes in each of the previous 4 wars. Trying to think about this. Okay, this is not true. Yeah. At least for the 4th Holy Grail War, every servant was defeated by a higher tier heroic spirit. Or equivalent, basically. there's only maybe one that you could argue about, but like even then it's like, well, they weren't even killed by a heroic spirit, they were killed by a mage. So, well, no, not even, technically not even that, actually. So yeah, I mean, it's stupid. Yeah, this is just not true. I guess Nasu just didn't care about this detail, I guess. Apparently. I mean, I don't know why this was even brought up. Like, it's actually pretty rare. Like, I guess they want to be like, ooh, the underdog surely comes out on top sometimes, right? And it's like, not really. Not really. As far as I know, the best servant class is Saber. I don't know why they say this. I really don't know why they say this. But it's really weird, especially since the fourth Holy Grail War had just an insanely good archer, rider, and saber, sure. But like, saber just had a weird advantage, but it was very weird. But I guess saber would have won just because they're the most powerful one, though, in that instance. But like, when you think about other sabers, like, I don't know. Yeah, saying saber is the most powerful class, I don't know about that. I always keep hearing that, and I'm like, nah, that's bullshit. It's just that they keep talking about this one specific saber. Saber fought until the very end in each of the last 4 wars. Really? I'm gonna have to look into that. Who was? I know the saber for the last one, but yeah, I don't know anything about the saber of any of the other ones other than this one and the previous one. Saber, Lancer, and Archer are said to have powerful magic resistance. Magecraft is ineffective against these 3 classes. After all, they're warriors from ages of myth and legend when magic was still prevalent. Spells cast by modern mages would probably fizzle out on contact. That's why the first 3 classes are generally considered the most desirable. I mean, mage class is also impervious to magic. I'm pretty sure berserkers are also pretty impervious to magic too. And you're just not going to even find an assassin, really, for the most part. The other class to watch out for is berserker. Heroic spirits summoned in this class lose their sanity. As the name suggests, they become crazed warriors and puppets of their masters, but are strengthened beyond the powers they had in life. It's also worth noting that the stronger a servant is, the greater its burden on its master. In the past, masters who drew berserkers couldn't control their servants, and ultimately self-destructed due to running out of magical energy. Yeah, that makes sense. No exceptions. In the vast majority of cases, Holy Grail wars are won by the summoned servant's abilities. Of course, there are plenty of ways for masters to win battles, but it basically comes down to fighting between servants. That's why a master needs to commit the utmost diligence and effort to summoning a servant. Discontented, I decide to come up with projections for the battles to come. Before long, it's 11 p.m. Yes, I fixed the clocks already. Archer comes home.
おかえりなさい。成果はどう？
すまない。失敗した。よほど用心深いマスターだったのだろう。少なくとも、こちら側の町にはランサーのマスターはいなかった。
Figures. Lancer was all alone, and his master didn't seem like the type to show themselves.
そう。まあ、簡単にはいかないわよね。
Everything can't go according to plan, so there's no use worrying over it. I'll just give up and treat tonight as a learning experience.
覇気がないな、マスター。いつもの威勢はどうした？まさか、先の一戦でおじけづいた。というのはなしだぞ。君が命じるのなら、今すぐにでもランサーとの再戦に赴いてもいい。
Archer doesn't say it, but I can tell he thinks that's the right course of action. Oh, I must look pretty depressed right now, huh?
そんなわけないでしょ。私が打って出ないのはね、単に無駄手間をしたくないだけなんだから。
無駄手間をしたくない？
だってまだマスターの数が揃ってないでしょ。今夜のはやむなしだったけど、開戦の合図があるまで戦わないわ。それが聖杯戦争のルールだって父さんは言ってたし。
Yeah, this is a funny rule because I don't think anybody ever cares about this rule. Like, it's understandable, but still, not ironclad in any way. Very not ironclad, in fact. It's more like proper etiquette.
そうか。君の父親もマスターだったのか。
Archer nods in understanding. Actually, he's making a rather mixed expression.
何よ、何か言いたいことでもあるのあんた。
ああ、一つ聞き忘れていた。リン、君は幼い頃からマスターになるべく育てられ、それに従ってきたのだろう。つまり
当たり前じゃない。それはいきなりマスターに任命される魔術師もいるそうだけど、私は別よ。遠坂の人間にとって聖杯戦争は何代も前からの悲願なんだから。
そうだろう。なら目的が塔にあるはずだ。私はそれを聞き忘れていた。主の望みを知らなければ私も剣を預けられない。
Yeah, it's funny that that he says this because I actually don't know what her wish is. That is crazy. Because she doesn't know the true purpose of the war, as far as I'm aware.
リン、それで君の願いは何だ？
Which is a big deal. She really should know.
願い？そんなの別にないけど。
何？
Yeah. Archer's making a funny face.
そんなはずはあるまい。聖杯とは願いを叶える万能の杯だ。マスターになるということは聖杯を手に入れるということ。だというのに叶える願いがないとはどういうことだ？
Archer drops old pretense. Ah, right. Once the Holy Grail is won, the victorious master's wish has nothing to do with the servant. But that's weird. Father mentioned that servants have their own wishes too, but that's their own business. It shouldn't matter to Archer whether or not I have a wish. Why? What do you mean? What? It shouldn't matter? Like, he wants to know your motivations. Like, what the fuck?
よし、明確な望みがないのであれば、漠然とした願いはどうだ？例えば、世界を手にするといった風な。
なんで？世界なんてとっくに私のものじゃない。あのね、アーチャー。世界ってのはつまり自分を中心とした価値観でしょ？そんなものは生まれた時から私のものよ。そんな世界を支配しろって言うんなら、私はとっくに世界を支配している。
Yeah, that's really immature. But whatever. Archer looks at me with a strange expression. Man, he's stubborn.
バカな。聖杯とは望みを叶える力。現実の世界を手にできる力だぞ。それを求めるというのに何も望まないというのか、君は。
It actually is extremely suspicious when somebody doesn't have a wish in these wars. Like, I don't have anything. And it's like, are you a freak? Because that's usually what that means.
だって世界征服もめんどくさいし、そんな無駄なことを願っても仕方がないでしょ。
Not everybody has a goal in life.
割と想像力が貧困ね。
理解に苦しむな。それでは何のために戦う？
I mean, technically she fights for family honor. Whatever.
そこに戦いがあるからよ、はーちゃん。ついでにもらえるものはもらっておく。聖杯がなんだかは知らないけど、いずれ欲しいものができたら使えばいいだけでしょ。人間生きていれば欲しいものなんて限りないんだし。
Maybe, I mean, this really says it all right here. A rich, pampered girl saying, not all people live to acquire things, you know. And it's like, says somebody in a mansion who's gotten everything she ever wanted, materially, admittedly, but still. Like, oh, well, she wants a nice, happy family, blah, 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 but, like, still, like, saying not all people want to acquire things. It's like, okay. But again, very bizarre that, so she is not aware that the whole purpose of this Grail War, spoilers, is to get to the root. The root is basically God. If you go to the root, then you can become a magician. One of the 5 magicians, that's how they, I mean, that's technically how they're supposed to get there. You're supposed to use the Holy Grail, get to the root, and then you become a magician. A mage. Or, sorry, a magician. A magician. Somebody who could use true magic. That's the whole point of this. And here is one of the final heads of the family. Nobody else to tell her any of this, pretty much, from her family at least. And she just doesn't know what the purpose of this war was. How did her dad never bring this up? It's crazy because, like, this is the most important thing for a mage. And her dad actually did direly believe in this. He was the last person who truly believed in this wish, as far as I'm aware. As far as I'm aware, he's the last person who actually truly believed in using the Grail to go to the root. And he died and never told his daughter that that was the point. That was the whole point. Stupid.
つまり君は
ええ。ただ勝つために戦うの、あーちゃん。
It makes her look really stupid. Archer sighs and shrugs. Maybe he's fed up with me, but he finally relaxes.
参った。確かに君は私のマスターにふさわし
See,
い。
this is really stupid to say this, because she's actually the most unfit person ever. A bare minimum, a master is supposed to have a wish. And a servant is supposed to have a wish. If neither have a wish, they aren't even master and servant. They're like a ruler, like a judge that is beyond everybody else's goals and comprehension in the Holy Grail War. It literally makes no sense. It literally makes no sense. I don't know how to respond to comments like that. So I wish she'd stop making them. But yeah, so yeah, she's just stupid.
サーバントにマスターを選ぶ権利はないけど、一応聞いとく。なんで私があなたのマスターにふさわしいのよ。
But yeah, of course, at this point, he's like, well, luckily for me, I'm not here for a wish, and I have some alternative motives that make this entirely fine from my perspective. His motives have aligned with hers in such a way that it's just a crazy cosmic coincidence. But I guess that's the point, that she summoned him for one particular reason, but also because their desires overlap, that they both don't really want to win. They, if anything, just want to prevent everybody else from winning. So weirdly, that yeah, their belief systems align in this way.
言うまでもない。君は間違いなく最強のマスターだ。
I can think of 2 that are definitely stronger than her. Maybe another one, but I mean, this guy doesn't know who any of the other masters are, I think, so.
使える相手としてこれ以上のものはない。
そう、ありがとう。あなたに言われるなら世辞ってわけじゃなさそうだし。
I turn away to hide my embarrassment. Archer usually acts like a smartass, so this sincerity is blindsiding me. Admittedly, I'm happy he feels this way. I've come to trust him, and he's come to trust me. I don't think this mutual sentiment is a bad thing.
さて、ならば一息入れようか。7人目のマスターが現れるにせよ。それは今すぐというわけでも。ちょっと待て、リン。君、あの飾りはどうした？
飾りってペンダントのこと？はあ、あれなら忘れてきちゃった。もう何の力もないものだし、別に必要ないでしょ。
それはそうだが、君がそう言うならいいが。
ええ、父さんの形見だけど、別に思い出はあれだけってわけじゃない。
よくはない。 そこまで強くあることはないだろう、リン。
As he nags me about the fact that you literally have no physical connection to your father anymore. Archer holds out the pendant. I left at school. Right. This part. Right. Archer holds out the pendant I left at school.
拾いに行ってくれたんだ、アーチャー。
もう忘れるな。それはリンにしか似合わない。
This is the moment, isn't it? Archer avoids eye contact as he passes the pendant to me, looking almost bashful.
そう。じゃあ、ありがとう。
Yeah, when you first played this, 20 years ago, you gotta be really dang eagle-eyed to be noticing some of these details. I accept it. To be honest, I'm not sure whether to be embarrassed or played off right now. Pendant is as I left it. As I thought, it really doesn't have any energy left. It's just an expensive jewel now that it's empty that you can reuse, but okay. But to put it in Archer's terms, maybe it still has meaning as a memento of my father, even without its power. Maybe. I suppose I can laugh this off as a net win since I spent my trump card to save someone's life.
って待った。
I jolt up in my seat. I wasn't thinking straight while I lamented what I lost, but as I pull myself together, it strikes me. He saw us, so I ought to alter his memories. Meanwhile, Lancer prioritized eliminating witnesses over fighting us. Lancer's thinking should reflect that of his master, which means if a master who went out of their way to kill a witness finds out that he survived...
そんなやつ、生かしておかない。
I stand up from the sofa. It's already been 3 hours. I might not make it in time, but I can't let this happen. Not after all the trouble I went through. What a weird thing to say, because like, how would the master even know that he's alive? Whatever. I sprint through the night. Fortunately, I know where he lives. Not because I bothered to find out, but because someone I happen to know goes over to his place often. I've never been there personally.
まったく余計な苦労を背負おうとしているぞ、君は。
I mean, this really does tell you a lot of small details about the entire story that I think the anime just, well, I mean, can't really show because all of these are Rin's internal thoughts. You could have these thoughts in the anime, but it's just so many thoughts that are like, oh, that's a minor thought. Oh, that's a minor thought. And it just adds up so much that they'd have to like redo the Fate route and then add all these small details that then you go back and rewatch and be like, oh, okay, they were kind of hinting at that. But it's still weird because like Rin is such a bad character that thinking back on these connections, it's like, oh, she's dumb. She's really stupid. It's like, wow, here's like all like 5 different things that are super deep about how Rin is thinking. It's deep because she's stupid. And she's knowledgeable but doesn't do anything with this knowledge. All this knowledge does nothing. Amazing. Archer gripes unenthusiastically. It's going to be as much of a struggle to rescue the guy now as it was to save him earlier. I actually don't know the context of this part. I know the context from the guy's perspective, but not Rin's. It's midnight. The sky is shrouded in clouds. Arrive at an old samurai estate. The building closest to the outside shows no signs of life. There aren't many neighboring houses, so it's unlikely anyone would come even if they noticed something was amiss. My breath mists white. The wind picks up. It must be pretty strong because the clouds are starting to move. I find myself trembling despite the temperate Fuyuki weather, and a chill runs down my spine. People call Fuyuki a warm place, but you can feel the winter chill from the hilltop. The air is bitingly cold. The chill presses in and makes it hard to hear. In the midst of this air that seems conquered by the cold, I keenly sense the enemy. I bite my lip. Something's on the other side of the outer wall. Lancer must have already infiltrated the house, waiting for its witless owner to come home to his death.
飛び越えて倒すしかない。その後のことはその時に考える。
Just as I'm about to order Archer to go in, a flash. From the house emerges a radiant white light, bright as the sun. Its presence is all-consuming. The power radiating from Lancer is being washed away by the newcomer's even greater aura. An instantaneous explosion of ether gives the spirit physical form, and the summoned being overpowers Lancer.
嘘。
All I can do is whisper in awe, but the truth is staring me in the face. As if to prove the point, Lancer bounds over the wall, fleeing the compound.
ねえ、アーチャー。これももしもの話？
さあな。だがこれで7人。ついに数が揃ったぞ、リン。
Archer is calm. Meanwhile, my rational thought goes flying out the window. What happens next should have been obvious, but I'm not thinking straight. There's a strong gust of wind. The clouds over the sky cover the sky like an umbrella. Darkness shrouds the lightless outskirts of the town. A servant leaps over the wall and lands gracefully like an unworldly bird. Archer reacts. I fail to even twitch in response. That's my fault. The fight ends before even a second passes. 1 second might be a brief instant to me, but it's a massive opening to a servant. A bladed wind closes in on me.
アーチャー。
Archer lunges in front of me, while the servant cuts him deeply. It really was just an instant. Is Archer, who so gracefully defended off Lancer's brutal assault, going down in one hit?
アーチャー、消えて。
I made it in time. Before the servant's next strike takes off Archer's head, I force him to retreat. Pain throbs in my right hand, because it was such an extreme order. What? Because it was such an extreme order, it used up one of my command spells. But it wasn't in an extreme order at all. She just told him to vanish, not like run away. And I don't even understand why she would even tell him to run away anyway. It wasn't an extreme order at all. I don't even know. I think that this might be different than the anime. I don't remember this at all. Very weird. Now I only have one left. Oh my gosh, she's so incompetent. Yeah, I forgot that she used one already. Yeah, oh my gosh, I forgot. Right, she used one for that one reason. Man, I really don't remember her using two in the first night. She's so smart, guys. She's so powerful. She's so capable. But this was for the best. It's worth losing a command spell or two to make sure Archer doesn't die. I mean, she's saying that he was going to lose his head, but she didn't know that. Like, okay, he got hit one time, okay. Does that mean that he's definitely not going to be able to defend himself from a second attack? Stupid. Yeah, and what's stopping her from getting killed by the servant immediately? Without skipping a beat, the servant comes for me next.
なめるな。
But she knows that this is a saber. She knows this. And therefore, it's going to be immune to magic. Oh, stupid. I guess this is just to show off how stupid she is. I pull out a wind-imbued topaz, feed my magical energy directly into it, without any extra steps. It's a cluster of wind spells that I've been feeding into day after day. Why wind spells? Why wind? Why not fire? At a minimum. Or lightning. And they're enough to blow away a house or two without leaving a trace, really. A house or two without leaving a trace? And she threw out like 4 or 5 of these? This is one. Oh, just one. Okay, okay, she just broke one. One of 10 jewels I've been building up for the last 17 years without skipping a single day. Even if I can't beat this thing with it, it should be enough to slow it down. No. Nothing. Did nothing. Or not. It didn't work at all. The moment it touched the servant, what ought to have been a tempest that would hew apart anything in its past disappears like a simple staged magic trick. What a terrifying magic resistance. Are you telling me that a mage doesn't have enough magical energy to hurt the servant? Yeah, I mean, you already told us this. Oh no, my magecraft doesn't work, and I've lost Archer's protection. I have no way to stop this servant. I am going to die now. Even if I barely manage to dodge the first attack, I'm finished. I look up at the night sky. In it, I imagine a ruthless reaper coming for me, sprawled pitifully on the ground. She's like, get good, scrub. See you next week. The wind blows. Through a break in the clouds, the moon peeks out through the spiral-like sky. The moonlight highlights her elegant profile. So this is the face of the servant who drove off Lancer, took down my archer in one blow, and shrugged off my magecraft like it was nothing. The girl's voice rings clear like a bell, yet her voice is a stuff of nightmares at this moment. The sword she thrusts at me seems to shine. I know that this is my dying moment. One glance is enough to figure that out. This is the card I wish to draw. The sword-wielding hero said to be the most powerful servant. I look up at the moon, prepared to die. There's no room to beg for my life, no time to escape. With my death, there was time to beg for your life, but okay. With my death, Rin Tosaka, Holy Grail War, Rin Tosaka's Holy Grail War will have ended on the first day. Technically, minute 1, technically. Because, the war just started now that the 7th servant was summoned. You'd think I'd go out hating my foe, feeling nothing but shame and regret. But I don't feel that way at all, because I feel nothing, and I had no goal in life. So, if I died, who cares? Something's seriously wrong with me. I'm one moment away from certain deaths, and here I am, entranced by my killer. Yeah, it's frustrating to be sure. But there's nothing I can do now. The strongest servant is going to kill me. She looks all at once heartless, utterly noble, and so very beautiful. Amazing comedic some music in there. So are we gonna get... Yeah, we are gonna get the opening. I was just wondering. I hope I don't get copyright struck. Spoilers. Oh, I really don't like this song. I was giving it some benefit of the doubt, but man, I've heard many better songs associated with Fate Stay Night. Many. Like almost every single other song I've ever heard. Well, there's Gilgamesh. Prologue complete. Oh my freaking gosh. I cannot believe it took that long to get through the prologue. I'm just completely dumbfounded how it would take that long. But I mean, it's everything from her perspective, Rin Tosaka's perspective. This is a very different song vibe than I was expecting. Oh, well, we're gonna skip that. So, wait. To be fair, that was just watching. So there wasn't decisions made, because we're not the main character yet. But yeah, there's no reason to even load this. It's really weird that the prologue is that long. I mean, you did get introduced to all the ideas of everything of the Holy Grail War, but still really crazy. Good music. Oh, here we go. Here's our pictures. Okay, we got some reactions and some other little things here and there. So I don't remember when this showed up here, though. When did this show up? Was this at the very beginning? I think this was at the very, very, very beginning. And it's like, oh, I saw her. Oh, she was so majestic. And then they did a flashback to Rin's perspective, which is just absurdly stupid. Like, why you would flash forward with these two and then flash back and not show these two at all until literally the end of the prologue. Like, it's just so pointless. So yeah, there he is. He's the guy who was saved by her pendant, and there she is. There's Saber. How do I get out of them? There we go. Movie? Yeah, of course. Maybe these are for Unlimited Blade Works? No, I can't. Okay. Heaven's Feel, I assume. Yeah, all the music. We got all the music. Or some of the music. Sound effects? Really? Is this sound effects? Okay. Extra? What? No. Okay, whatever. Well, that was coincidence. Anyway. Flowchart. So this is how we do flowchart. Okay. So we're on... Oh, wow. That's convenient. So it actually started... Well, I mean, okay. Well, technically, it started on the 31st. So I thought it was going to be convenient if it started on the 1st, but no, it started on the 31st. But, you know, close enough because this was on, like... Okay, you know, here's the funny part. Is it even on the 31st? Because... I mean, technically, but like it's the night of the 31st, and then she summons Archer. Like, this picture right here is actually of February 1st because she summons Archer at, what was it, 2 a.m. Like, so this is at 2 a.m. That's why it's like, but yeah, some events do happen beforehand on the 31st technically, but I'm gonna still say this is the first day. Okay. The wind blows. Ending list. How many endings are there? I assume these are deaths endings. There's, yeah, well, anyway, we're gonna be, weird. How is there 5? Wait, 5? I mean, 1, 2, 3. Maybe Heaven's Feel has 2 endings, but then what would this one be? I don't know. No idea. A joke ending? I don't know. Is there a true ending? Okay. There is a true. There probably is a true ending actually in the Heaven's Feel route. The last route. Okay. So I guess we just go to new game. How we do this? I don't actually want to start it right now. I just kind of want to slightly begin. You know, just slightly begin. Oh my gosh, this is how we begin? Oh my gosh, okay. Oh my god. Are you freaking for real? I am the bone of my sword. Steel is my body. Fire is my blood. I've created over 1,000 blades. Unknown to death, nor known to life. Have withstood pain to create many weapons, yet those hands will never hold anything. So as I pray, unlimited blade works. Alright. Oh, okay. Well, we will be stopping there. I mean, I could go for a bit longer, but it's just too perfect to just be like, okay, we've finished the prologue. So here we go. We've arrived to the main story, and this is going to be the backstory of our actual main character. So yeah, I'll be seeing you guys later. I don't know how long it's going to take to finish each chapter or day. Maybe it's a day. I think they're organized by days. This was the prologue. I think I might have heard that there might be 7 days, but I don't think I can actually finish one day per stream because each day. Well, maybe though. Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see how the pacing goes. Because yeah, it is possible each day could be 4-ish hours. Because this isn't supposed to be a crazy long game individually by route. In fact, I think the first route's supposed to take like 20 hours about. It's just weird because, like, I think so far I've played... I think I've played 5 hours, I think. Because part 2 was 2 hours, and then this is about 2 hours. I think part 1, I'm going to have to go back and check, but I think part 1 was 1 hour, I think. A lot of talking. Not much happening other than vague introduction of characters and locations. So, but yeah, thanks for watching. See you on the next one. I will be doing more voice acting in the next one. I mean, like, I know I haven't really been voice acting much, but doing a teenage girl voice, I mean, I can't do it well, and also, you know, but you really want me talking like this the whole time? You know, this is the best girl voice I got, even though it's for Rin. It's like, you know, you can. I really can't. I really can't put any subtlety to Rin's voice. Just, Archer, what are you doing? Archer, what are you doing? Yeah, I don't know. There's some subtlety, but like, I'll try harder with this main character. So all those complaints I had with Rin, I'm going to have way more problems with this main character. I actually hate him a lot. So the funny thing is, though, is that it now makes perfect sense why these two end up getting along eventually. It makes a lot more sense. A lot more sense. Like, a lot of sense. Like, wow. Oh, I thought it was a little weird before, but it's like, oh no, now it makes sense. Like, I thought Rin was like weird and like quirky, and the main character was just like a punching bag that she could do whatever she wanted to him. And that is partially true, but it's also true that they're both just really kind of suicidally dumb. Kind of. Like, you know, obviously the main character more so, but Rin is... Ooh. Anyway. See you guys next time.
Are there a bunch of little girls in this one too? Hello, girls!